call at 7 o'clock. Call the Dune City regular meeting of Thursday, March 9th, 2017 to order. Would you do a roll call for us? Jim?
Certainly. Council President Sheldon Meyer.
Here.
Councilor Robert Forsyth.
Here.
Councilor Duke Wells.
Here.
Councilor Tom Mellon.
Here.
Councilor Robert Orr.
Here.
For the record, Councilor Montgomery is absent and excused, as is Mayor Rebecca Reed.
Stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Need a motion to approve the agenda.
Make a motion for the agenda. Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes unanimously. Need a motion for the consent agenda.
Make a motion pass the consent agenda. Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimously, and Jamie has a handout to give us at this point.
What I'm handing you is basically the starting point of the budget process. It has no budget numbers in it over here, and also the dates are wrong, so ignore that. But it will tell you 2 years ago, last year, this year what we budgeted, and this year where we are as of tonight, well, Monday, as of Monday.
Okay.
As of Monday, boy, that's up to date.
You might get one, you might not. There you go.
Thanks.
And I don't know that you want to really review it or go over it right now, but it might be something for your repertoire, because later on the agenda, we're going to set the budget.
All right. Well, I just do not take a lot of time right now to read through it, but. So our next major is announcements and correspondence. Item A is Volunteer of the Year nominations are now open. Please submit your nominations for Dune City Volunteer of the Year online at dunecityhall.com under the permits tab, or just come by City Hall and tell them who you think deserves to be Volunteer of the Year. Second one, reminders of the City Council and Planning Commission members that your annual statement of economic interest must be filed online with the State Ethics Commission when the site opens at the end of March, but before April 15th. And I think we'll try and get a firmer date as to exactly when they're gonna close. but I-
It's not open yet.
Yeah,
I try every day.
Yeah, all right.
If we could get a link possibly to that site. To do the application.
Yeah, I'm linked to it.
You are.
Yeah, and each of you will be,
Yeah.
because you have to, that's the only way. In years past, you could do it in writing, now you have to do it online.
Right. Okay.
So, and when we get the dates as to when we can do that, we'll give you information as to exactly how to do that.
Good.
Any other questions or comments on that? And item C, the Oregon Dunes Duathlon is scheduled to take place on Saturday, May 13th. If you want to volunteer to help out for a few hours that day, please give a call to City Hall and let them know.
One more item.
Certainly.
You should have an announcement up on the dais. It just came in the other day. The Poverty and Homelessness Board is looking for a rural elected official representative from Lane County. And so if that is something that you are actively involved in or interested in, I'm sure they would certainly appreciate you filling out an application and getting it sent in.
Is there an application in here or just?
Yes, it's attached
Oh, yes, I see it.
to the handout.
And if there's any questions or concerns about how to fill it out and what it all means, get in touch with you.
I guess.
Okay.
I'll do what I can.
All right. that, that would be a very worthwhile endeavor for somebody. Any citizen input on items not listed on the agenda? All right.
None.
Old business, Oregon Dunes Triathlon and Duathlon Volunteer Organization Award.
In the past, we have offered a prize to the organization that brings the most volunteers of $250, and I'm just seeking guidance if you want to continue that practice, and for the same amount or a different amount.
Do you think that provides any incentive for organizations to get us more volunteers? Do you think that's a factor?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't you? You agree with me? Oh, yes, I do.
It seemed like in the first time we did that, we got a significant amount more, and so it does
Yeah.
really seem to,
Okay.
you know, it's a separate little competition out there.
It really is. We've had a couple of years where competition to get the most volunteers was actually quite fierce.
Oh, the more the merrier.
Yeah. Our next old business is the Silkwood River.
We didn't.
Point of order, you want to tell me, does that mean yes?
Yes, I think that was the consensus.
For the same amount?
Do we need a motion to that, or
It
just?
would be helpful if I had that on the record anyway.
All right,
Okay. So moved?
250?
Yes.
Okay.
Second.
any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries with one nay, but we've got a quorum and enough.
Did you get the vote?
That was an A.
There were two and him, and as I understand it, I can vote as well.
Only in the event of a tie.
Well, that's if I were the mayor. But since I'm still just a council member, Becky said she thought I could vote. Okay,
As
well, I
long as
didn't
you're
vote.
acting in the position of
Okay, okay,
mayor, it's still only in the event of a tie.
all right,
Thank you.
but it passed anyhow. Now, the Silkwood River Dam Portage.
Yeah, the damn portage.
Dam Portage. There's a letter in your, agenda, or your packet, from the Property Waterway Coordinator, Midwest Region, stating that we need to get our act together. As I understand it, we, to reapply, we need to pay $350. And my contention, and I've talked to the mayor about this as well, and it's also her contention, let's pay the $350. That'll buy us some time to figure out what we really, really wanna do and how we might do it, and $350 is a whole lot less than $3,000 a day. This one, behind, just before the picture one.
Got it.
Behind the receipts of the session.
Yep, that's, okay.
So,
I have additional information as well.
okay, love to hear it.
I met with Representative Patty McKeown at a coffee shop on the 24th of February, and we discussed transportation issues, but we also discussed this issue, and I handed her a packet. I received a phone call from Malia this morning. Patty is working actively to try to find somebody, whether it be the Marine Board or the state police, but someone to go in there and clean up that stretch of the river.
Wow.
So, and if she said she's sending out this letter, and if it doesn't get a response back, then they'll, you know, back up and regroup and try and find another way to approach it, such as funding or something, because that's been the excuse, is
Right.
lack of money.
Right.
So that goes to strengthen that perhaps we just need to buy some time. Mr. Heidgerken was supposed to be here to meet with me, but with all the weather, he hasn't made it down. I also hope to talk to him. He is the owner of the property, and perhaps he would be interested in retaining the portage as well, since he owns the dam anyway, so. But I have no idea what his position will be on that.
But I think the contention is $350 will buy us another, what,
5 years.
5 years? I don't anticipate it taking that long, but, we only got another week or two before we get fined up to $3,000 a day. So my contention is that we need to
Seems
have.
like a good expenditure.
Yeah, so I'd love to have a motion, that states that we can, pay the $350 and.
Okay, I'll move we pay the $350.
Second?
Any further discussion?
Who's that getting paid to?
I'm sorry?
Who do we pay that to?
Looks
It will
like
be
the-
to Division of State Lands.
All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed unanimously. New business, we need to set a budget committee meeting. And you've just received that packet, which will be, I think, really, really helpful in our endeavor to get our budget put together. But we need to set a meeting to start talking about that sort of stuff. And you have a month in mind, a year in mind, a date in mind?
The sooner the better as far as I'm concerned, but if you wanna wait until April, that's okay too.
Well, one of the thoughts about waiting until April is that Becky thinks she will be back.
Right.
And I think that it would be really, really beneficial to have her input and to not have as much of mine. So, that's, if you could look at a date in April,
You're not.
then I think that would work out the best. And we're meeting on what, the 13th anyhow?
Yeah, early in April then, or like the first week, do you think is safe for her?
I don't know for sure.
Usually, well, I don't know, because I don't know what, I haven't talked to her since the last treatment, so.
I talked to Rick today and he said that just today, she has really bounced back and
Yeah.
doing extremely well, great
She's
mood.
ecstatic to have it over with.
Yeah, she sounded like that when I talked to her today too. She just said that, she was feeling a whole lot better and, she thought she'd be back without any glitches on, at the April, board meeting.
Okay, good.
So,
How about toward the end of the first week then? Starts on the 3rd, maybe we go toward the 6th or 7th? Give her a little time in April before we meet. Or the first of that next week.
The next week is our regular meeting.
Yeah.
right?
Right. Be good if we could meet before that week.
all right.
We could, you know, if we start going into the budget session, if we plan on this next budget meeting being the introduction of the proposed budget with the budget message and all that, we are supposed to meet every week until the budget is approved. So I don't know if you want to start down that path now, or if you want to have a pre-budget meeting before we get into the start crunching numbers.
I think what I'd like to see is maybe, you know, toward the first, before our next council meeting, to maybe just have half an hour, 45 minutes, get together, go over these, ask questions, we'll have had a chance to read through these, and then set a firm date to start having.
To start doing the whole process. Okay.
Yeah, through the whole process. Does that
That
make
makes,
sense?
that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't need a motion for that, just, you got consensus?
Well, do you want to meet like an hour earlier at 6 o'clock, or you just wanna
Oh, our regular.
postpone the regular session till 7:30 again? You know, how do you wanna do it?
Or did you mean it?
Or do you mean a whole
Different
other day?
I was thinking a whole other day.
Okay,
Just, you know, to just set an hour aside, sometime in the week or so prior to that, just, that'll give us another 2 weeks or so to glance through this and make sure we understand it and then start the meetings after the April council meeting, when we know that Becky is for sure back and full and ready to
right,
roll.
and we go through the.
And we've had a chance to kind of look at these things and stuff. So I'd say sometime in the first 2 weeks before because we meet the second Thursday, so sometime before that.
Right now, the best week is actually the last week of March.
For our little briefing meeting,
Yeah,
that would be good.
yeah, that looks okay for me too. The bulk of that is open so far.
The 30th, is that what we're thinking? Is
Thursday.
Thursday the best day?
Oh, doesn't matter to me.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, Thursday's fine.
And do you want it late? Do you want it in the afternoon?
Afternoon for me.
Yeah, afternoon.
Yeah.
Bob, are you gonna be okay with afternoon?
Yeah.
On a
Yeah, I can do that.
Thursday?
Do you want to set a time? 5, 6?
3, 4?
2.
5, wouldn't 5 be easier for you guys because it's the end of the day and you're not.
And I wanna go home? No.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't be sitting here for an hour or two waiting for us to have a meeting at 7.
Well, that's true, yes, 5 is better than 7.
But earlier
Three
than
is
5.
even
would be
better.
Three better than
Yeah.
5, yeah.
Three is even better.
3
4.
works for me.
3 o'clock would be great.
3 works for me.
I'm all right with that.
What's the date?
30th.
The 30th. Are you working that day, Tom?
No, I work Tuesdays.
Full-time job.
For an old guy, it is.
So 3 PM on the 30th?
Okay.
That's what I have.
Okay.
Okay. We will notify the other budget committee members.
Perfect, thank you.
And thank you.
All right, moving right along. So we've done that. The next item is the copyright infringement notice.
The actual copy of the notice is in your packets. This is the response that was sent to the attorney. And it was, I wrote it, but then the attorney changed it,
That was good.
but not much.
Copyright infringement action not covered under our city
No.
insurance policy.
No, it's not. Our insurance covers tort actions in the state of Oregon, not federal actions, and a copyright infringement action is a federal action.
So we are not covered
covered.
in this case. You don't know yet of any possible response to this? You haven't heard anything yet?
No, I have not heard anything.
It's a nice, good letter.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Very complete.
Well, as soon as you do hear something, I think we'd all be available to be told that or something.
Has our attorney offered any thoughts on where this might go?
The attorney has indicated that the way they read the notice, they're operating under the assumption that we're making a ton of money off of these pictures. And we're not, they're just being used for educational purposes on the website. So that's why the response, he felt like that would probably solve it, but we'll see.
Yeah. Okay.
And while we're on the subject of the attorneys, our regular attorney, Lauren Summers, has taken another position with the city of Eugene and will be, her last day will be the last day of March. So they have assigned Christy Monson, another attorney in the firm, to be our point person for contact.
Did these people in Kansas request any money from us?
$30,000 an image for each of you individual.
I see.
Yeah.
Hmm.
There were 3 images. And the images, as far as I can tell, it was, I don't know, those of you who are around back then, Duke will probably remember that we had the education committee working on the website. One of the volunteers went to the state of Oregon's Fish and Wildlife page, webpage, and downloaded the pictures. And that's where they came from. Unfortunately, the state actually gave credit to the guy, and we didn't.
Would it be fair to assume that if for any reason, they get back to us and say, no, we want to proceed, then it becomes a legal issue, which could become a
Well,
court
they
case?
issue notice and they would have to file a petition
Yeah.
in federal court.
Yeah, exactly.
And yes, and it would become a legal issue, which by the way, you know, they're fascinated by this over at the lawyer's office. Dune City gets the most interesting cases.
Great.
All right, so when and if we get any information,
I
you'll
will let you know.
get it to us. Any other questions or comments about this issue?
See where they go.
Yeah. All right, the Florence Chamber of Commerce requests $500 as a contribution toward the July 4th fireworks display. I believe that part of that was.
Yes, very colorful little flyer in your packets.
And do we have this in our budget?
Not really, no.
And other than, pardon me,
We could do it.
we have done it before?
No,
No.
we have never done it before. This is
And,
the first time that I've seen that actually sent out notices to an email list of people.
and other than the enjoyment of the fireworks and obviously us wanting to be good citizens, is there some benefit to us doing this?
Just
Well, there-
image.
Image, okay.
On their handout,
Yeah.
they did mention 5 different things. We did 10
Oh, yeah.
and radio spots, and a
Right.
14-page
I've
ad.
forgotten that. Okay.
And our name mentioned in flyers, and mentioned at the 4th of July page on the chamber website, and mentioned on the chamber Facebook page, so.
Right.
I can tell you from being involved that several years at the port, that this is a very expensive proposition, and over the years, it's been getting more and more difficult to pay for it. As their budget goes down like everybody else's, they're reaching out, trying to find those monies. The last time I was involved, it was a little over $11,000 was the expense for the fireworks. And so they're reaching out now to businesses, other organizations. We used to put up money for it. But like I say, as it gets, every year goes by, like everything else, gets a little more expensive, and everybody has taken a little bit out of their budgets every year because it gets so expensive. So it seems like they're doing a much better job now at really branching out and trying to keep this event, because it is extremely popular in the city of Florence.
It strikes me, and I can be talked out of this, that this is something that would be of much greater benefit to a business organization. They get the publicity and the radio spots and the quarter page ad and the mention, etc. That is something I would think a number of local businesses might better profit from than a
Municipality.
town. Exactly. But I'm open to further discussion. You have a different opinion.
Yes.
My feeling on this is, I've said it many times, my number one responsibility for Dune City as a councilman is budget. And I've been in several of the budgets over the past years. I don't see where we have this right now to do $500. And I never recall, and Jamie clarified that, I did never remember this coming up in front of us before. The other thing is, I really don't see a benefit for Dune City on this. I know lots of folks that live in Dune City go and see the fireworks. And I understand the outreach to try to pay for it. But, my opinion, our responsibility towards our budget comes number one before the fireworks, to me. That's my opinion of it.
I agree. I mean, this is something certainly that, there are many, many businesses in the city of Florence that this benefits. There's not really gonna be a draw to us. And I know one of our local businesses is now licensed for fireworks. And, yeah, my neighbor, and Darling's.
Yeah.
Right, is now licensed so that he can set off his fireworks and things like that. So, while I think it's admirable for them to reach out and do these things and get, you know, I think they're doing the right thing. I don't think it really behooves us to be involved, but I think it's a really great idea, and we probably ought to keep it in mind as we grow.
I know as a business owner in Florence, we'll contribute.
Yeah,
You know,
Sure.
I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
absolutely. So I just don't, my opinion is thank you very much, but, you know,
Yeah. Do you need a motion, or do you?
No, I really don't. I think
Yeah,
I
get the
understand the consensus.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. The next order of new business is Resolution Series 2017, number 6, parentheses 3-9-2017 in the parentheses. Amending policies in the personnel handbook to include a section entitled Safeguarding Social Security Numbers. Now, is this something that we need to have a first and a second reading and hearing?
No, this is just a resolution, and it can be made, it can be approved by motion. The reason this is before you is because every time CIS comes out here to do their inspection, there's something else I gotta do. And so there are new provisions regarding policies to safeguard social security numbers. They asked if they were in our personnel handbook and our policies handbook, and they are not. So that's why this is here before you, is to get them in the person. We do the things that are in here, but it's not specifically written in the handbook.
It's good to have a document that says this is what we will do
Exactly.
and can do and shall do. So you don't need a motion, or do you need a motion?
Yes, you still need to have a motion and second.
So moved. Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Well, it's my social security too. It passed unanimously without my vote. Public hearings? None? We're to reports. Mayor's report. Becky's not here, and I don't have a report to give, per se. Community center report?
We need to do some work on the lighting, get some brighter lights in here. I've been looking at these and the wiring up there, although it's a double ballast setup, a little bit above my pay grade to be playing with.
Yeah.
So I think we need to, talk about it in the budget, and they've got some higher intense lights, kind of like these that are above the dais right here, I think would lighten the place up. I think we need a professional to do that.
Well, I like the fact that those of us on this side have steady lights, and you guys are.
Yeah, that's what's with
Just
this.
me.
You thought it was just you? Yeah.
And we did yellow lights out here.
You're right. Checking the date on those medications.
All right, well, thank you. The site review is vacant. And I think, in talking with Mayor Reedy, she wants to reorganize some of the committees when she gets back. And so, rather than trying to fill that one for another couple of weeks, why don't we wait on that? Is there a water quality report that came? I don't remember seeing one, although we have plenty of water.
I think it's been a bit damp for them to go out.
Yeah, they can get wet under them. Ad hoc committee on Syracuse Lake Club roads,
We did not get an opportunity to meet.
okay. Public Works, and Mr. Palmer's not here,
No.
and so you're the last two, Jamie, emergency services.
Counselor Orr and I attended the West Lane Emergency Operations Group meeting. Yeah, and it was here at City Hall, so. The fire department had a computer crash, and so they're working on trying to put that together. They now have a new CERT coordinator who will coordinate CERT, Citizens Emergency Response Team activities for Mapleton, Sweet Home, and Florence and Dune City in this area, so. The CERT is going to be organizing an ATC 20 training, which is to train people to come in after an earthquake or a seismic event or a windstorm for that matter, any kind of event that might cause damage to buildings, so that they can inspect the buildings to make sure that they are okay for people to enter back into them and or continue to use them. And I hope to encourage some of our contractors around here, even though they say, oh, you can even have your janitor do it, you know. I would like to encourage the contractors to
Yeah.
participate. We do have some that are retired that have already indicated they would be willing to do
That'd
that.
be great.
Megan Mesmer reported on the flooding and damage that's occurring in the city of Florence. For your information, there is damage and flooding occurring in the city of Dune City as well. That's a daily thing of going out and
Yeah.
seeing where the latest damage is. You're driving through probably an ocean on the way to get to your house
Yeah.
at night, yeah.
I've never
Council
noticed
Wells
that
is.
forever.
I've been told that the culvert is blocked, and I went out there, but I couldn't see where any of the culverts were blocked. But Richard's out of town, and will be back on the 15th. I don't know if we'll be able to see anything by then. I can tell you that the grate up by,
Oh, yeah.
on Huckleberry, and further up where the road goes around, that, we've received a lot of phone calls about, that is not a culvert. That is a catch basin,
Right.
which means it has a finite amount of room
Yeah.
and it's full.
Exactly.
It's full and overflowing, and there's not anything we can do about that without a sump pump. Which, by the way, the fire department did suggest that maybe we could use they would show up in an emergency and pump the water off, and they have really long hoses. So that's how we put it, really long hoses. Emergency preparedness workshop scheduled for Tuesday, April 11th through Thursday, April 13th at the Sun River Resort in Sun River, Oregon, for those who may wish to attend. And the next meeting will be held Monday, March 20th at Florence City Hall.
Just for the record, I signed up for and have started the a CERT training class. And so I've done one Saturday out of 4, and I thought it would just kind of go along with that. I got my ham radio license now, and I just thought it might be a nice thing to do. I recommend it. It's a very good, very thorough course.
Yeah, they have a good program.
Yeah,
Good.
and I'm looking forward to having you folks join me on the ham bake.
There are 3 of us in City Hall, 3 of our staff are trying to struggle through the technical handbook to learn so that we can pass the test, which will be on the 24th or 25th of March. So hopefully we'll get our technical licenses. Okay, on to the city recorder report.
Yes.
We had 12 permits issued in February. The planning commission met on February 23rd, and our newest commissioner was sworn in. The commission, and this is something that we need to take action on, the planning commission has requested guidance from the city council on how to proceed with marijuana regulation in the city limits. And my recommendation is that Rapunzel and I would like to get out of the middle of it. I would love to see a joint meeting of the planning commission and the city council get together and talk about this issue.
Pun intended.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna start throwing stuff at him, can I?
I told Becky today I would make people laugh.
Yeah, it's important to Becky that people laugh. So I would like to pick a date and schedule that, or you guys can schedule it yourself, either way.
Is there a president yet of the planning commission since
Yes.
the other gentleman left? Who?
Barry Summer is the president.
No, Bonnie Allen is the
Oh,
chairman.
okay, great.
And she is here. Barry Summer is the vice chairman.
Vice chairman, okay, yeah, very top. Bonnie's here.
And
And it would be very helpful if we could come to an agreement on, or at least some guidelines as to where everybody is on this issue, because we are getting a lot of inquiries.
let's make it happen. Set a meeting.
Inquiries for retail
No,
stores or?
mostly grow,
Home grow?
mostly grow, no, not home grow, commercial grow.
Oh,
Could we tack that on to the pre-budget meeting that we've got scheduled, or?
Sure.
Maybe an additional revenue stream.
Might be.
Yeah, let's have that meeting before the.
Before their signature.
That's fine with me. After the budget meeting, that, I know, that's our ghost.
Oh,
I just thought it sounded like a siren maybe, but I think it was just the wind.
Yeah, it's the win.
Yeah. So on the meeting that
So
we have,
immediately following the budget committee meeting,
we could do that.
Sounds good. Meet with the planning commission.
should we say what, about 4 for the planning commission to start showing up?
What's it, 3, 4?
Because we have to post it, so.
Yeah, let's do that.
Does that work for you?
I will have to poll the planning commissioners.
Does that work for you, Bonnie? As a start,
What date was it?
that would be the 30th, March 30th
Yeah,
at 4.
Sure.
It's a Thursday.
Is pulling the planning commission anything like a pulled ball?
Joint meeting.
Okay. All right, so we'll tack that on to our kind of preliminary budget meeting.
As I go through the report, I see we've discussed most everything on here, except that Peace Health has agreed to sponsor the triathlon again this year. So our current sponsors, the large sponsors, are Three Rivers Casino, Peace Health, the City of Florence, and Darlings RV Resort and Marina.
Great.
Good start.
And we, as a staff, have tentatively scheduled August 19th as the paddle-only poker run. And have talked with Lori over at, and Rick over at, is it Rick or Rich?
Rich.
Rich over at Darlings, and they are willing to be the start and finish line.
That's awesome.
So, one other news, a bit of news that I got this afternoon. Renee Green has accepted a position, with the Lynn County Planning Department. And her last day will be, well, she's putting in her 2 weeks' notice as of Monday. So we'll figure it out from there. So I will be contacting Cardinal and start doing interviews. Is there any one of you that would like to join me on in the interview process?
I love interviews.
You love interviews?
They're great.
Okay,
So,
good.
depending on the time.
Okay.
You know, us retired people are, hard to find.
Pretty good.
Thank you, Bob. I appreciate
I
it.
would more than happy to help.
I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
it doesn't
I'll
work
let
out.
you know if they have any candidates.
If it doesn't work out time-wise for him, then
Okay,
holler at me.
okay.
and
I
I'll see what
appreciate
can-
it. Thank you so much. It's getting really difficult in the office. Laura Lee is now gone, and now Renee is leaving. No, I'm not running them off. It's not me. At least I hope it's not me. And I think that is all that I have.
All right.
quick question, who will be filling in for Renee until we find someone?
I hope to find someone before Renee leaves so that she can start training.
Oh, that'd be
In the
excellent.
meantime, it's me, which is scary. If nothing else, she'll start training me to do it.
All right. Anything else for you?
I have just a quick question I'd like to ask of my fellow counselors. Jamie, you said that the City of Florence is one of our significant donors for the triathlon. Does that give anyone pause that we are not contributing to the fireworks and yet they are contributing to our triathlon? Just
It's the Chamber of Commerce in the city that was asking.
Yeah,
Okay,
different.
okay. Just want to make sure we're not, yeah, okay, that's
Stepping
fine.
on our own toes, yes.
Yeah, right,
Understood.
okay.
All right. For the good of the order. Anything?
No, not unless you want to know how 4 kids from Saginaw High School did at the wrestling championships.
Oh, yeah.
We, I'm a volunteer coach there for the wrestling team, and we had, we are small, obviously. We only could fill 8 of the 14 slots. When we went to divisionals, 4 kids, 4 young athletes were made it to state. In our division of 4A, there are 38 schools. We had 2 young men that didn't make it to the finals, but they won 1, lost 2, and did very well in those losses and in the 1 win. Ricky Huff is a state champion at 113. Kanan Lane finished 5th in 285. And I have to tell you, Kanan goes in at 240, and the kid that, one of the kids that he lost to had to run to make weight at 285.
Wow.
So he's going in with his own weight plus a 6th grader on his shoulder. And they did so well in the scoring that we finished 12th overall out of 38 schools with just 4 wrestlers.
Outstanding.
It's a great program. It's going to be a rebuilding year next year, and I'll bring it up a lot as we go over this next year.
There was a very good write-up
Yeah.
in the local paper.
Oh, good.
about it. Really nice, a full half-page picture of the Jennings boy
Uh-huh.
in his match.
Yeah,
So-
Riley.
Yeah, Riley, yeah,
Very nice.
that was fun, yeah.
Riley went in there sick.
Yes,
So it's hard enough as it is, but he's a trooper.
yeah,
The kids did really well.
that's great,
Great.
congratulations.
Yeah.
Good.
Anything?
No.
Anything?
No.
Anything? Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved?
Second.
It's done.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you again.